Imagine a young girl growing up in Reading, Pennsylvania, with dreams far too big to be contained by her small-town surroundings. That girl was Taylor Swift. Fueled by ambition, talent, and a deep love for music, she would go on to become one of the most influential music icons of her generation. Known for her emotional storytelling and powerful lyrics, Taylor's journey is nothing short of remarkable. Today, we take a closer look at the path that led her from writing songs in her bedroom to performing on the world's biggest stages during the Spectacular Eras tour. How does someone turn personal moments into anthems that define a generation? What can we learn from a life lived so boldly in the spotlight? Born on December 13, 1989, Taylor showed an early interest in both music and poetry, two creative outlets that would later blend seamlessly into her songwriting. By the age of 14, she made a bold move to Nashville, Tennessee, the heart of country music, determined to make her dream a reality. In 2006, she released her self-titled debut album, and it wasn't long before songs like Tim McGraw and Teardrops on My Guitar captured the hearts of young fans everywhere. Her lyrics felt honest, even vulnerable, traits that would become her trademark. How many teenagers would leave everything behind to chase a dream? And what does it take to turn raw talent into lasting impact? Taylor's authenticity quickly set her apart in a crowded industry. Her growing fan base and early critical acclaim proved she wasn't just another passing star. She had staying power. With each song, she built a connection with listeners who felt seen and understood. Her second album, Fearless, released in 2008, marked a turning point. Songs like Love Story and You Belong With Me bridged the gap between country roots and pop ambition, launching her into mainstream superstardom. What happens when a young artist begins to shape not just music, but culture itself? And how does one stay grounded while rising so quickly? With Fearless, Taylor Swift didn't just achieve success, she soared. The album's standout singles, Love Story and You Belong With Me, became massive global hits, earning her multiple awards and solidifying her position as a powerhouse in the music industry. Her ability to blend irresistibly catchy melodies with emotionally honest storytelling drew in listeners of all ages and backgrounds. Taylor wasn't just singing about love and heartbreak, she was giving voice to emotions her fans didn't always know how to express themselves. What is it about honest music that feels so universal? And how does a young artist manage to speak so clearly to millions? In 2010, Taylor released Speak Now, an album that showcased even more growth, both musically and personally. Written entirely by Taylor herself, it featured hits like Mine and Back to December, which offered intimate glimpses into her own life and relationships. These songs weren't just catchy, they were confessions wrapped in melody, further deepening the bond between her and her audience. With each release, she revealed new layers of her artistry, and fans followed her every step of the way. How rare is it to find a songwriter who balances vulnerability and strength so seamlessly? And what makes us connect so deeply with someone else's story? The release of Red in 1989 marked a bold new direction for Taylor, her official crossover into pop. Tracks like We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together and Shake It Off weren't just commercial hits, they were cultural moments that redefined her image and sound. Taylor embraced the shift with confidence, unafraid to leave behind her country roots in pursuit of creative growth. Her fearless reinvention captivated both old fans and new ones, proving that change could be not just necessary, but exhilarating. What drives an artist to reinvent themselves when they're already at the top? And what can we learn from embracing change instead of resisting it? By the time Reputation arrived in 2017, Taylor had undergone a complete transformation, both musically and personally. The album was darker, edgier, and more experimental, reflecting the highs and lows of her public and private life. Yet even in this bold new era, her signature storytelling remained at the heart of it all. Taylor had evolved into more than just a pop star. She was now a cultural icon, commanding attention with every word, note, and reinvention. How does someone continue to surprise the world without losing themselves? And what does it take to stay true to your voice, even when the world is trying to define you? Reputation marked a dramatic shift in Taylor Swift's sound and image, embracing a darker, more mature tone that reflected the intense public scrutiny and personal challenges she had faced in the years prior. With bold tracks like "Look What You Made Me Do" and the more vulnerable "Delicate," Taylor revealed a layered and complex version of herself, one that had weathered storms but come out stronger. The album felt like both a defense and a declaration as she took control of her narrative with sharp lyrics and unapologetic energy. How do you reclaim your voice when others try to write your story for you? And what does it take to turn pain into power? Then, in 2019, Taylor offered the world a softer palette with the release of Lover. The album marked a return to a lighter, more romantic sound, filled with joy, color, and a spirit of celebration. Uplifting tracks like "Me" and "You Need to Calm Down" emphasized themes of self-love, acceptance, and inclusivity, reflecting a shift in both her music and her message. After years of turbulence, Lover felt like a breath of fresh air, a moment of clarity. Can healing sound like a pop anthem? And how does joy become an act of resilience? As the world slowed down during the pandemic, Taylor took yet another unexpected turn. In 2020, she released Folklore and Evermore, two sister albums that embraced a more introspective, indie folk style. Songs like Cardigan and Willow revealed a quieter, poetic side of her artistry, one that leaned heavily into storytelling and emotional nuance. Stripped of spectacle, these albums highlighted her lyrical strength and ability to create vivid, intimate worlds with her words. What do we discover about ourselves in stillness? And how does creativity thrive when everything else comes to a pause? Taylor Swift's versatility and creativity have long set her apart, but it was the Eras Tour that felt like the pinnacle of her artistic journey, a celebration of everything she had built, survived, and transformed through. More than just a concert, the tour became a living tribute to each chapter of her career. From the nostalgic twang of her early country hits to the glittering, high-energy pop anthems of her later years, fans were taken on a heartfelt ride through time. What does it feel like to watch your life's work unfold on stage? And how powerful is it to revisit the past, not with regret, but with pride? The Eras Tour didn't just highlight Taylor's music, it honored her legacy. It became a shared experience, packed with unforgettable moments, emotional sing-alongs, and visuals that dazzled from start to finish. Fans wept, danced, and celebrated together, united not just by the music, but by the stories behind every lyric. Taylor's unmatched ability to connect, whether through a glance, a lyric, or a heartfelt speech, was on full display. How many artists can move millions so deeply across generations? And what makes a concert feel more like a homecoming? More than anything, the Eras Tour was a tribute to the global community Taylor has built, a family of fans who have grown alongside her through every album, heartbreak, and reinvention. It was a reminder that her music isn't just hers anymore. It belongs to everyone who's ever found comfort, courage, or joy in her words. So if this journey through Taylor Swift's extraordinary evolution inspired you, don't forget to hit that like button. Share this with your fellow Swifties, let us know your favorite Taylor moment in the comments, and be sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the lives of artists who've changed the world, one song at a time.